Hello and welcome back to Calradia Expanded at War, and we're currently in a battle against someone that has an overwhelmingly large army. I think they have, I don't even know, like, what, 600? Maybe it's not even overwhelmingly large. I mean, you can see here, their combat strength is quite a bit more impressive than anything else, but they basically beat us by about 100 combat strength, and that is enough for them to assume that they're going to achieve victory here. Now, I'm at Asta Castle at the moment because I would very much like to try and take this. Golorin Castle, obviously Golorin Castle's under siege, Cantrek Castle has been taken, but these things are very minor because I was actually running around trying to gain as many units as I possibly could in my off-screen time. I've also leveled up my crossbow, as you can see right here, so I do have a perk to spend. Let's have a look. Upkeep of ranged troops reduced by 50%. That's actually pretty good. And also, your ranged troops have +5 hit points. Otherwise, you have a 20% chance to increase bombardment casualties by 1 unit. And your troops' crossbow kills inflict 25% more morale loss to the enemy. In my opinion, that secondary effect is worth the entire perk right there. Because imagine you have a huge amount of Vandian sharpshooters, or generally any crossbow using unit, and you're going to have an absolutely wonderful time there. Because 25% more morale loss, it's just going to make them run away almost instantaneously. And we have enough money as it is, and 5 hit points isn't really good. I mean, it's okay, but it's not terribly great. So I'm going to take the 25% more morale loss right there. Sounds like a good plan. Anyway, I am apparently now going to head in against Urgion here. I really did not want to go into any kind of field battle, but they have forced my hand. Yes, they have forced my hand rather significantly here. So let's see if we can actually take advantage of that wonderful new perk that we just gained. And let's see if we can get more ranged kills this time around. So let's actually move my infantry over here, move these guys into a nice little loose formation as well, and now we have to obviously deal with the enemy's cavalry too, so they are going to be hopefully murdered relatively soon. Hello there. Oh yes, that was a good one. Not too bad. Can I get some more though, please? I would very much like to murder this fellow. Yes, thank you. There we are. That's not too bad. That is actually pretty decent already, and we don't even need to worry too much about those. They seem to be running off to the side. They're probably not going to have a huge amount of confidence in their abilities now, because I have eliminated a couple of them, and they might decide to be a bit more cautious, or they might just be hanging back a little bit, waiting for the other contingent of cavalry to charge in. But you can see here, look at the amount of damage that our sharpshooters are doing. Are these guys actually running away right now? No, they don't seem to be. But I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. 25% more morale damage, that is very significant if you think about how many kills the sharpshooters are going to get over the course of a fight. It's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, I've also done something a little bit different as well. Arwa, you know Arwa, our wife, she is now the leader of her own party. And I gave her, I think about 70, 80, maybe even more than that actually. I think I might have given her 100 units. Yeah, I think I gave her 100 units. Highest tier. I gave her the highest tier unit that I have available. Gave her some Banner Knights, gave her some Vandian sharpshooters, and I gave her some Vandian sergeants as well. So a very balanced, nicely leveled up army. And she has space for 200 units in her party, so obviously that's basically just giving her 50%, which is not great, but I couldn't really spare any others, and at that point I was still recruiting units from Vandian territory, and I had no idea how long it was going to take, and everyone was declaring war against us, of course. I mean, that is exactly what they're going to do. And bear in mind that, that's actually something that I wanted to touch upon real quick. You know how in Warband there was a stat called right to rule, right? Yes, right to rule, right? No. It was just right to rule. And you would need this. You would need this to basically prevent enemy factions, or prevent prospective enemy factions from declaring war on you too easily. Because then you would basically, be recognized as your very own sovereign, or your very own monarch in the wording of the game. And generally then you would basically be like, oh yes, I am actually a king or queen, you know, I am actually the real deal, so to speak. And that's what right to rule was actually for back in Warband. Now, I don't think there is a right to rule in Bannerlord. I don't think there is. So what actually determines whether they declare war against you? Is it the borders? Is it the borders? Is it what you currently own? Is it your combat strength? Is it your expansionist mindset potentially? Because let's just say you have one fief. Is it likely that the enemy is going to attack you? I think so, yes. I think so, because what's going to happen then is that they're going to think that you're weak and that you can probably be eliminated relatively fast. But that would actually be a very interesting I personally think that would be a very interesting topic for a series. Literally just having one town, you know, having one town with a, well, a relatively rich prosperity, because obviously you're going to need a rich prosperity to, you know, maintain your funds and things like that. But generally, I don't think that can actually work. That is the big problem there, because let's say you have one. Right? Let's say you have one. It's not going to work to not capture any other fiefs, you know, because if you try to capture other fiefs, then obviously that defeats the purpose of starting with one, right? So it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. I don't know how that can work, because I know that a lot of people have done the whole one city in games like Civilization and stuff like that, and I thought, can that actually be applied to games like Bannerlord? Can you actually apply that same strategy to Bannerlord? And I actually don't think so. Now that I think about it, I actually don't think it can be done. I mean, yeah, sure, it can be done, but that just means that you cannot take any other fiefs, and then how are you supposed to eliminate enemies? And speaking of eliminating enemies, I'm actually going to take this 33,000 experience. I think that's way too good to pass up. But yes, speaking of eliminating enemies, someone gave me a very enlightening comment. I'm actually not entirely sure why this mechanic is a thing. If you are correct about this, which I think you probably are, because it seems to me like the minor factions are just consistently around. But anyway, basically what you said was, executing minor factions doesn't work to eliminate them from the game, because they just get more and more members for their clan over time, and it's basically negligible. It does not make any difference. So me executing people in an effort to eliminate these minor factions, it makes no sense whatsoever, and it's just making everyone hate me. Which is what you said in your comment. And that's actually true, I think, because if we actually take a look at the forest people, you could see here, let's have a look. Yeah, I believe so. I believe that is actually happening, because you can see right here. I mean, let's just say that I eliminate these two as well. Maybe I just haven't fought enough of the forest people, but I'm actually thinking about doing this just for science. You know, for scientific reasons, just to kind of test out and see what happens. Because you can see here that they have 4 members, right? I think they are supposed to have 4 members, and that's the reason why additional members of the clan are created by the game to make sure that the minor faction has the required amount of people inside it. And I think that's actually the case. So I'm going to test that out real quick. So we're just going to execute both of these. This is probably going to be our last executions for a while. I don't think we're going to be executing any more people if the mechanic holds true, which I think it is going to be fair. I don't see why you would be incorrect about that, to be honest, because it seems very strange that the forest people, for example, are not eliminated yet. I mean, they have so many members. It might just take a little bit of time for them to gain some more. So let's just leave it for a few in-game days, and then I will take a look at the forest people once again, and we'll see exactly how many units, how many members they actually have in their clan. Because I personally think that would be very interesting to see. Whoa, the amount of damage that our Valandian sharpshooters are doing is astronomical right now. That is crazy. We literally just saw an entire wave of enemies eliminated so incredibly fast. Look at that. They literally have 40 kills already. 36 kills, actually, more accurately. And, wow, I really, yeah. I am very thankful that we actually decided to go with the Blandian Sharpshooters, to be honest. I think that's super, super fun. Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. I've got to be a bit careful here. I really don't want to take any more damage, so I have to play a little bit more defensively than I'd like. He says as he randomly swings at this enemy. Yes, very good. I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep moving because I cannot get stopped. Can I go up here? Oh, this is bad. Hello? Hello, sir? I don't mean to disturb you while you're having your cup of tea, but I would very much like to do that because you are now murdering me. No, thank you. Okay, so there we are. Not too bad, not too bad. Can we... Oh, hello there. That's a lot of enemies. Okay, let's try and eliminate as many of these as we can. Obviously, they're going to try and clobber me. They're going to try and clobber me super, super badly because I am outnumbered so dramatically over here. Let's try and eliminate this guy. He's a high-tier unit. Ah, never mind. Apparently, he's escaping. Well, that's unfortunate. But it's all right. Let's kill them. Oh! Okay, never mind. Apparently, I am now falling off. Yes, that's what I do. I do indeed fall off many, many places. I'm very good at that, as we all know. Yes. Oh no, this is going to be one of those situations, isn't it? Got to be a bit careful here. Bit careful. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I also have to be careful about fighting in the doorway here because the low ceiling in the doorway is preventing me from using any kind of attack. Because I can't use overhead, and I also cannot use horizontal attacks. I'm being shot at from up here. There seems to be a person here. Hello there. Goodbye. We are losing a lot of people, actually. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. We've only lost 18. That's pretty good. But to be fair, we've actually lost a whole bunch more than that. But thankfully, due to my medicine skill, we seem to be okay. You know, not too bad. I mean, our medic's medicine skill, shall we say, because I obviously... I do have a pretty decent medicine skill, but it's obviously not the primary thing. Gotta be careful here. Do not want to die from this guy, thank you. I really do not want to die from a hammer or a mace-wielding person ever again, thank you very much. That is always extremely frustrating to me, because I always think to myself, I should be able to beat that guy. You know, I should be able to beat that guy with that hammer, with that tier 1 hammer or whatever he's using. But, you know, sometimes it just happens. It just happens. Oh, nice little pokey action going on right there, too. Okay, can I get a kill? Ah, he's not even damaged. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. I was able to take him down, though. Can I get the other guy? No. That is never going to happen in a million years. All right, let's speed things up and get this done. And now we are probably going to receive a retaliatory attack by... Aaron, I believe. Aaron is the now de facto ruler of Battania, because obviously we executed Calradia beforehand, and he is probably going to do something here. He's probably going to do something that we are not particularly pleased about. Going to show mercy. I'm thinking that I probably will not claim this fief because I personally don't want it, so I'm going to say no, but I do want someone else to get it in the vote. So let's see what he actually decides to do here. Yes, he is actually deciding to go in. This is probably a bad idea for me to stay in here, personally. I think it's pretty ill-advised because you could see the amount of units I currently have available. I literally only have 178, which is, in my opinion, probably one of the worst things I can currently have. This guy does not... What? Are you serious right now? Oh, wow. This guy has no support whatsoever. I guess I'll give it to Vipon for the moment. It seems like Mr. Blacktooth allowed his one fief to be taken, basically. So that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Okay. So now we actually are having all of the cards in our hand, basically, because we can decide whatever we want to do with these kinds of diplomatic measures. So if I want to, I can make peace with the Western Empire, and I can just pay them a massive amount per day, which is obviously something that I really do not want to do. This is my current combat strength, by the way. We've shaken things up so dramatically with this, you know, turnaround of events by creating our own faction. And look at what's going on here. We are actually within reaching distance of the opponent. This is going to be pretty scary. Pretty scary indeed. Okay, so let me actually just take a quick look here. Okay, so there's nothing here. Hopefully my medicine skill is going to repair a whole bunch of our people. I say repair, I should say heal. But yes, hopefully that is going to happen. Hopefully I'm going to be able to stand on my own 2 feet as well, because I'm only at 60% at the moment. Hopefully I'm going to get a little bit more than that. It seems like the defense is growing with every passing second, and hilariously enough, he has now frittered away his previous advantage, because he had such a significant one. He really did. But now I think he's probably going to end up losing this. Personally, I think he's going to end up losing this because he has just taken too long to start the siege, and he's actually building a siege ram and a siege tower and all that stuff, and I personally think that that was a mistake. I think he should have probably just gone straight on in, because now we are full strength, and I don't think there's anything he can do. Oh, he's actually going for it, though. He is actually going for it. This is going to set the Battanians back so heavily that I personally don't think they'll be able to recover from it. But if they are, then good on them, but I don't think they will be able to. Let's get up on the battlements as soon as possible. Wow, now this is an absolutely fantastic vantage point for the ballista. I wonder whether I'm going to be able to actually get any kills from this range. Bear in mind you cannot zoom in with the shift key as you normally are able to, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, I actually did hit some people. That's fantastic. Who would have expected that? Ah, yeah, I'm not hitting anyone now. Can I get another? No. Apparently not. Ooh, that was a bit better. That was a bit better, wasn't it? Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Alright. I just really need them to get a little bit closer. But you can see here, I mean, we've already killed so many of them. I mean, I say so many, but we've only killed 40. But generally, I would say that this is probably going to be one of those things where the enemy vastly underestimates how far they're able to get toward us. And then they're just going to end up losing so many units in that time. That was a headshot. Oh my. Can you imagine getting a headshot by a ballista? Wow. That has got to be quite the sight. I mean, really. That has got to hurt a lot. Oh, it looks to me like they are abandoning the siege. Yes, indeed, they are abandoning the siege. Okay, well, that is perfectly fine with me. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And we're going to continue trying to hit people from over here because I think that's fun. Generally, trying to challenge yourself with some long-range shots is always amusing, especially when you miss so dramatically like I do. But whenever you are able to get that one really long-range shot, it's always extremely fun for me. I think so, at least. Can I get a kill? Oh, it hit all the way up there. Really? That's actually kind of interesting. So I aimed it all the way up here, and it did actually reach into that direction. So I'm now wondering... Huh. No, it doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to hit anything from there. Okay, let's speed things up a little bit and see what happens. It's not looking good for them, to be honest. It's not looking good for them. But they are basically just standing outside, not really doing much, as you can see. They seem to just be standing there, kind of chilling, not really doing much else. And I also cannot hit anyone from this position for some reason. That is somewhat unfortunate. I'm going to just allow my AI friends to take over now because they're most likely going to be a little bit more accurate than I am. And the Battanian sharpshooters are literally just destroying every single person at the moment. Where is the front gate? Is this it? Yeah, this is the front gate right here. So technically I can open this up. And then we can go outside there and we can just take all of our people. Oh, look at Mitunis. Mitunis is doing so much damage right now. Why is he leveling up his athletic skill, by the way? What's actually going on with that? Okay, so we're now selling out. Oh, hello there. Should probably stop the super fast mode. That would be hilarious to fight in that. I don't think I would be able to be honest. Way too fast. I mean, maybe if I spam the button a little bit. Oh, what? There seemed to be like an invisible wall there or something, but yeah. Anyway, the enemies are now fleeing, and I think we can probably accept their surrender. Or accept their retreat, shall we say. There we are. Okay, and we lost a grand total of 0. I mean, I did warn them. I mean, kind of. I told you that I thought that this was completely ill-advised, but, they decided to go in nevertheless, so I suppose there's not really much that I can really do. I really want to eliminate this guy, personally. I really want to eliminate this guy just generally, because he owns Pen Cannoc, and I would really like to, I'd like to really execute him super badly. I'm gonna execute him, just because he's the leader of the Battanians. That's it. That's the only reason why I would be doing that. And we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. And I am not taking prisoners on purpose, by the way. I'm not forgetting them or anything. I'm just not taking them in general. I just don't really want to do that at the moment because I want to move around relatively fast, and I don't really have any friendly towns nearby, I don't think. If I do, then, well, that's my bad. But otherwise, okay, this is now owned by Vipon. We basically lost no HP and no units whatsoever, so now we are perfectly healthy and happy to continue onward. And yeah, it does seem as though, yeah, towns are relatively far away. I mean, Sionon is the closest, Sargeth relatively close by as well, but I really want to go on to either Dunglanis or Caerban-Seth. Caerban-Seth is probably not the greatest thing to go for, so I'm actually thinking maybe Pen Cannoc would be the way to go. Because at this point, I think taking... Oh yeah, that actually reminds me. Execution time, sir. Goodbye. With the election of a new monarch and their objective complete, the Fen Morcar League of Battania disbands. Oh, because he quote-unquote abdicated, because obviously he was executed, so technically he is no longer their ruler. That's actually super interesting. Okay, so that means that the people that wanted him to leave the appointed posts, I suppose you could call it, they are now happy. They are now happy with that. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, so let's just take a quick look here. Using a bow, increase your party size. I guess I'll increase the party size. Increase your damage with bows every day. The party member with the lowest bow skill gains experience. Bow equipped troops and all that stuff. Yeah, that doesn't really help me at all. I have 200 skill points in medicine now as well. Town projects that are related with sanitation and health also give a bonus prosperity increase. Increase loyalty of settlement by 1 per day. That is just incredible. I will be taking that. That is just... that is priceless. That is literally the most priceless thing you would ever find in the perk tree. Anything that can increase your loyalty is just amazing. That's actually something I wanted to mention real quick. You know how I was talking about loyalty in a previous episode? Well, that's the thing. I was basically just saying, if the occupying force is treating the citizens well and not executing them every single day, then that's great. That's fine, you know. And I did not say that they should remove the loyalty deficit in any way. I was saying that they should just reduce it a little bit, just tone it back a little bit. So instead of losing three loyalty every day for not having the same culture as the town itself, then it would probably be nice for it to be, I don't know, -1 or -2 or something like that, just to make it a little bit less punishing for capturing other factions' towns. Because, I mean, how else are you going to win the game if you're not going to capture those towns? I mean, I suppose you could do the tedious and laborious work of literally going and trying to find companions that are the same culture as your town, but that is also a bit of a frustrating experience, because you go to a tavern and you see, oh, this companion is from Battania, you know, is from Battania, but I need Empire. And, well, then you just have to search for that particular person, and it's going to be kind of annoying. It's going to be kind of annoying to do that. So that was all I was getting at there. It wasn't actually a case of, oh, look, he's whining about perfectly acceptable mechanics again. No, it's not that. I'm perfectly fine with the loyalty having a disadvantage if you take a town and you are of a different culture or whatever. I think that's fine. I think it could be done a little differently, but I think the way that it's being done is perfectly acceptable. It's just the amount of loyalty that you lose per day that I think could be changed. That's all. That is the only thing I was getting at. Anyway, let's hope that I don't die here. Oh, hello there. Wait a minute. Yes. Okay. Oh, I'm surviving. Amazingly enough. Why do they all have shields? Why are these shields all impenetrable? I mean, theoretically, I should be hitting like an absolute truck. These shields should literally just be destroyed almost immediately upon me hitting them. Okay. Not so good, not so good. Okay. Oh, this is bad. I'm dead. Ah, super dead. Super dead. Okay. Well, that's actually not even too bad, because now that means that my forces can get onto the battlements without too many difficulties, or at least I hoped that would be the case, but apparently over here we are having many problems. Yeah, that is the place that I was actually at. We are losing not that many people, surprisingly. The enemy is losing more, but the ratio is about the same. So it's highly unlikely that we're going to be able to complete this siege. I think it's going to be unlikely that we'll be able to do it. But how many do I have? I have 320, right? It's 200 now. We only have about 100 left, and the enemy has... Yeah, we're going to have to retreat from here, unfortunately. There wasn't much I could do about that. I should have actually built some other things. That would have made more sense. But that's okay. That is fine. We weaken them up a little bit, and that's all that we really needed to do. This guy is needing to be eliminated, or at least I would like to be able to eliminate him if at all possible. And even if I have to do that in an auto-resolve, that is perfectly fine. Hello there, sir. Goodbye. Alright. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll take some prisoners right now, because I am on the way to a town, so that makes sense. And otherwise, we'll take all the items and things like that as well. Alright, so I don't know whether you noticed, but I have so many Vlandian sharpshooters, I think. Yes, as you can see, I literally have 140 plus of those guys. That is, I think that might be a bit overkill, to be honest. I think that might be a bit overkill. I think I might need to tone that back a little bit. Maybe if I make another party or something like that, I can maybe give a bunch of those crossbowmen to someone else or something. That might make sense. Anyway, let's just see what I can do here. I'm going to have to sell a whole bunch. I really do need to try and do a little bit more bartering, because I have a lot of money at the moment, and I think it would make a lot of sense for me to do something like that. So I'm thinking we'll probably try... Shall we try and do some bartering with the Battanians, potentially? Because we could try to persuade some of them to join me. So what about... Who owns Maranath? If I can type. Yes, if I can type properly. There we go. This guy, he does not like us one bit. I'm going to send a messenger to him nevertheless. I would wholeheartedly assume that he's going to be in an army. He's happy with his current liege. Really? Are you serious? You are happy with your current... Okay, you're happy with your current liege, you absolute imbecile. Oh well, never mind. Okay, who owns Cannoc now? This guy. Right. Okay, let's send a messenger to him as well. Asta Castle is now under siege again, which is to be expected, I suppose. And this guy, he might be in an army. I assume he's going to be in an army. No, never mind. Everyone's happy with Melodia by the looks of things. Everyone's happy with Melody. Maybe it was a mistake to to execute the other guy, because they all didn't really like that fellow, but now they really like Melody. Oh well, never mind. You live and learn, I suppose. Anyway, look at Arwa. Arwa is going crazy right there. She just eliminated a whole bunch of enemy vassals. Very nice to see that. And now, if I can... Oh dear. Yeah, that's a very, very large army. I don't have an army capable of dealing with that at the moment, as you can quite clearly tell. I have 130 units that still need to get back on their feet and everything, and I do need to go back to Vlandian territory and recruit more units in the process anyway. So I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'm just going to take a quick look at my combat strength. You can see here that we've actually gained about 400 points. That's pretty good. It's not too bad. And how are the Battanians doing? 4,400. Vlandian... Well, the Vlandians are not doing the... I mean, they're doing okay, considering. But they're at 3,700, which is the lowest, I think, of anyone apart from Sturgia. The Azarai are... oh, dear. Yes, the Azarai are looking very, very intimidating at the moment. And, I mean, why wouldn't they? Most of their land is completely untouched, and there's war going on all over the place in the west. So yeah, that's something that we're going to have to resolve relatively soon. And you can see here the war exhaustion, they've all declared war around the same time, so the war exhaustion is not even helping us at this point. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.